want to be a better beekeeper? I've only been beekeeping for a few seasons, but after my first season, I was really frustrated. So much to learn, so much to keep track of. So this is what I did. I wrote a book. That's right. I wrote a beekeeping book. Now, that may seem crazy. I've only been doing this a little while, and I wrote an entire freaking book about beekeeping. Is this guy crazy? Maybe I am, but guess what? I do have a background in science. I do have a master's in biology, and I use some of that knowledge and some of my science background to really work on my beekeeping skills. So I'm very proud of this book. It's available on Amazon, very affordable. But what I think is cool about this book, this is a logbook. This is a beekeeper's logbook where you actually take this to your bee yard and you keep track of your beekeeping inspections. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do. This isn't necessarily a how to be a beekeeper book. This tells you a lot about bee biology. It also tells you how to find the queen, how to not find the queen. There's some recipes in here. There's also a flower bloom chart so that you can start keeping track of the flowers that bloom in your area. So over time, you are able to figure out what type of honey your bees may be making. You can be more aware of dirt. There's a lot of bee vocabulary in here as well. There's some commonly answered questions that a lot of new beekeepers ask. But this book is not just for the new beekeeper. This is for a person, a beekeeper that has a small apiary and they want to do better. They want to keep track of what's happening in their hives. The first step is to number or letter your hives. Even if you only have a few hives like me, you want to letter them, number them, so you can start keeping track of what's happening in your hive week to week, day to day, month to month, year to year. And over time, you can recognize and see problems that are happening. You can also do experiments with your hives, try different things in different hives to see what works best for you. There's a lot of beekeeping knowledge out there, but I am pretty proud of this. There's also a section for queen rearing if you want to keep track of your queen rearing data. There's also even a swarm trap section. So this is a logbook. You're supposed to write in this book. Lots of stuff about the bee life cycle. You can use the bee life cycle to better do inspections. If you know what to look for and when to look for them, you are able to figure out what your bees are doing. There's a section about queen cells. There's different types of queen cells. You can learn what your bees are doing or what they're about to do by knowing a lot about bee biology. So I am pretty excited about this book. What else is in here? Oh, there is an expense log so that you can keep track of all of your beekeeping expenses. And then at the end, there's an income log where you can actually put people's contacts, like their phone numbers, emails, so you can start working on a network to sell your honey. There's a lot of people out there that want to make money on their homestead. For me, this is how I have made a little bit of money on my homestead. Last year, I made about $600 selling honey and bee products. This is going to help me keep track of my expenses versus my income to see if I actually made a profit, which I hope I do. So I am super excited. And like I said, there's a recipe section. I have used every single recipe in here, so I know they work. There's no recipe in here that I have not used. And I even have a section so you can write your own recipes. Again, this is a book you're taking to your bee yard with you, to your apiary. There's lots of books out there about beekeeping. This is one of the few that you actually bring with you. There's room for over 120 inspections. So that's pretty awesome. If you have a few hives, this book is going to last you several years. Even if you have 10 hives, this book is going to be good for more than one season. So I am super proud of this. Available on Amazon. To find it, type in the Ultimate Beekeeper's Logbook, and there's even a little picture of me on the back. I am super excited. I made it affordable because I want to help other beekeepers become better beekeepers. There's lots of things threatening bees, and if we can use science to help battle that, that's one step closer to being a better beekeeper. So at least in my opinion, if you want to be a better beekeeper, it starts with taking better data. I actually made this book for myself, and then I was like, you know what? This book is pretty awesome. I need to offer it to other people. I've already given away 5 or 6 of these to local friends that are beekeepers. I started a beekeeping club for high school students, and they are all getting a copy of this free of charge, which is pretty cool. So go ahead and check it out. If you do purchase it, I would love to hear what you think. So thanks for tuning in, and keep on beekeeping.